there will be a threat or plan by all means to stop Donald Trump from his vision in 2024.
What says in 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 10, "But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things." It was on the 3rd of March 2023 when man of God, Prophet UI Samuel Anobizia, gave a word of prophecy that there will be a plot to stop former US President Donald Trump from fulfilling his vision for 2024. Listen to his words.
There will be a threat or plan by all means to stop Donald Trump from his vision in 2024. I repeat again, there will be a plan or try to stop Donald Trump for his vision for 2024. They will try all means. Remember, no one can stop the one whom God is with. They will try all means, but God is in control. We are praying for Donald Trump. We are praying for him.
On the 2nd of July 2024, a Fox and NBC News has it that Supreme Court clears all charges leveled against former President Donald Trump.
On to the timing of all of this. President Trump has given a statement to Fox News Digital in the wake of this decision. I'll read it for you here, and Jonathan Turley, get your take on it, the other side. Former President Trump said, "I have been harassed by the Democrat Party, Joe Biden, Obama, and their thugs, fascists, and communists for years, and now the courts have spoken. This is a big win for our Constitution and for democracy. Now, I am free to campaign like anyone else. We are leading in every poll by a lot, and we will make America great again." So that's his take, although
Well, I would hope that the judge in New York would not impose a jail sentence, because I don't think it's warranted under New York law. But this case is not over. Jack Smith is not going to go quietly into that night. I want to note two other aspects of this opinion to complete this circle. The court deals with the so-called fake electors issue. And it says, look, that question in dealing with state officials is not something that we see as falling in within these core areas. And so the district court's going to have to look at those communications to determine to what extent there is this immunity, presumptive or not, that might apply. But then it also talks about President Trump's January 6th speech and all of his tweets. And the language there seems quite favorable towards President Trump, and says that presidents are expected to speak forcibly on issues, that are important to citizens. And it really puts a emphasis on the fact that this is something that presidents do. Many of us believe, certainly I do, that President Trump's speech was entirely protected under the First Amendment. But the court is also saying this is a function of what presidents do on matters that divide the public. So on that, you have another section that's going to help out the Trump team dramatically in front of the district court. The one area that might be a sticky point is going to be the electors issue. And even Trump's counsel in front of the court acknowledged that that was going to be a tougher one. But otherwise, this is a very good day for the former president. This opinion is quite favorable on most points.
President and the power of the presidency colliding in one Supreme Court decision. The court ruled today that a president has at least some immunity from prosecution. The landmark ruling involves the federal election interference case against former President Donald Trump, brought by Special Prosecutor Jack Smith. On one hand, the court ruling that Mr. Trump cannot be prosecuted for official acts, but also saying he is not immune from prosecution for acts outside his scope as president. Today's 6-3 decision hailed by Mr. Trump as a, quote, big win for our Constitution and democracy. And President Biden speaking tonight on this very issue. But first, here's Laura Jarrett with more on today's pivotal decision.
Tonight, a monumental win at the Supreme Court for former President Trump. The conservative majority finding the presumptive GOP nominee must receive sweeping immunity for any official acts taken during his presidency. The 6-3 ruling a defeat for special counsel Jack Smith, with the court bulldozing through the charges against Mr. Trump for his alleged criminal efforts to stay in power, making the completion of any trial before November virtually impossible. President Biden speaking late tonight.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what the president can do.
Chief Justice John Roberts laying out a new sliding scale of what can be prosecuted, saying a president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, that he has immunity from prosecution for all his official acts, but that a president has no immunity for private, unofficial acts, while cautioning the president is not above the law. A federal grand jury indicted the former president for orchestrating a conspiracy to retake the White House. Prosecutors alleging he leaned on his DOJ, VP, and state officials to help him reverse the election results, mobilizing meetings of fake electors, it all culminating in the violent attack on the Capitol on January 6. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all charges and argued without immunity, every president could be prosecuted by political opponents.
If you don't have immunity, you're not going to do anything. You're going to become a ceremonial president. You're not going to take any of the risks.
The majority today agreeing the commander-in-chief must be able to carry out his constitutional duties without risk of political prosecution. Writing, without immunity, such types of prosecutions of ex-presidents could quickly become routine, and that would weaken the presidency, which is exactly what the framers intended to avoid. The special counsel had pushed to get the case to trial before November.
My office will seek a speedy trial.
The ruling now dramatically chipping away at parts of Smith's case. The justices finding Mr. Trump's urging the then Attorney General to investigate voter fraud now absolutely immune from prosecution. What remains in the indictment, including his pressure on his former VP,
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us,
are now entitled to a presumption of immunity. The liberal justices with a blistering pushback. Justice Sotomayor writing, when a president uses his official powers in any way, under the majority's reasoning, he will now be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival, immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power, immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon, immune. Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, the damage has been done.
And Laura Jarrett joins us now live outside the Supreme Court tonight. Laura, what are official or unofficial actions by the president will be decided by a lower court, and that's going to push the timeline for another Trump trial?
Yes, Tom. Judge Chutkan now has a heavy burden to try to figure out what, if anything, remains in this indictment. And it's going to take some time for her to even get the case, schedule a hearing, potentially bring in witnesses and evidence, all of which Mr. Trump may try to appeal. Tom?
Laura Jarrett leading us off tonight. Laura, thank you for that. Hallie Jackson is following the politics of all of this. Hallie, former President Trump is already out there declaring victory after this ruling.
That's right, Tom, calling this a big win for the Constitution and democracy, in his words, saying it should end what he describes as the witch hunts against him. Now, this ruling virtually assures his trial will get pushed until after Election Day, and politically, for him, that is a win. But the White House, in a new statement, says nobody is above the law and that the country needs leaders like President Biden who, in their words, respect the justice system and don't tear it down. With his campaign already fundraising off this ruling, Tom.